This is a speed test and a comparison between the iPhone 15 Pro Max and the Samsung Galaxy S21. The S21, which is powered by the Snapdragon 888 chipset, is a 5G device which was launched relatively in 2021 and it has been in the system for about 4 years. The iPhone 15 Pro Max, which is powered by the A17 Pro chipset, was just launched last year and it has been in the system for approximately around 4 to 5 months. Test this and find out. My name is ABEiiKU. Let's drift in. For all intent and purposes, we start with a boot test and see which one light up first. So let's go 1, 2, 3. So we're going to see Apple logo on it. Samsung has this kind of old archaic kind of boot up thing. I don't really like the way they are just using so many text on it. Yeah. Whoa, the iPhone 15 Pro Max is just way too advanced. The S21 is not a slouch. It's also really fast, but then the difference between these two in terms of boot up test is relatively around about, let's say, 5 to 10 seconds. So that is quite impressive for the iPhone. So Android 14, one iOS 6.0, and Apple's own twist on iOS 17.3. So they are on their latest version of iOS and Android. The display of the iPhone 15 Pro Max, it's really bright. This display is relatively 2x500 nits of peak brightness, so the display is vivid, bright and sharp. The S21 has an also bright display, has been good one in terms of video playback and all that. I tend to really tilt towards the Samsung display because the color is vibrant, it is rich, the contrast ratio is impeccable. But the iPhone is just too natural for my eyes. I like to have vibrant colors and all that. The iPhone's color is not just something that I personally appreciate or like. I always tend to go for this device because of the rich experience in terms of the display. Let's check to see if there are any apps running in the background. So there are no apps running in the background. These devices are all on the same Wi-Fi and relatively they are all running on 120 Hz, which is the display motion in terms of the refresh rate that both of these devices have. So let's compare to see if the iPhone is faster than the Galaxy, because the price of the iPhone now is about 4 times the price of this current S21 in the system. Let's use basic apps to first of all go. So let's use phone dialer. Oh, they are the same. These are relative same kind of experience. Faster at the same rate, open it at the same time. 3, 4. Oh, okay, boy. I don't know what to say. I think the cameras are also almost the same, but the iPhone was just a tiny bit, let's say about 2 or 3 seconds faster than the Galaxy S21 in terms of the speed. Let's swipe home for these devices. Settings 1, 2, 3. Okay, so for settings, the iPhone was faster than the Galaxy in terms of just about 2 or a second difference. Let's scroll and see. S21 settings, I definitely optimize this for my own looks and personal liking. And the reason I like Android more is because of this. It's because I'm able to tweak it to my own liking. I don't like the way the iPhone's settings is just jagged with so many apps here and there that it's all compounded together. I think it's just too much of a bearing for my liking. Note. Okay, so the iPhone Note is a bit faster than the Galaxy's Note. It's up 1, 2, 3. Okay, these are all the same. The WhatsApp on the iPhone has not been set. Swiping home, it's fluid on both devices, and you can see the animation scrolling is almost the same experience. So it doesn't matter that this is the latest device and this is an older device, it still works incredible the same. Facebook 1, 2, 3. Whoa, on Facebook the Galaxy loaded or opened the application faster than the iPhone 15 Pro Max. X 1 2 3. Oh, the iPhone was faster than the Galaxy. So let's scroll and see. So scrolling on the iPhone tend to be always smoother than the Galaxy, and I think it's because of the app optimization that comes in handy for the iPhone. TikTok 1 2 3. Oh wow, they work incredibly the same. And see, look at MTA Maker over here, and let's say he's doing his drives and all that. So it's really almost the same. The Galaxy has a much smaller in terms, it's smaller in terms of the hand gestures. If you're able to hold it, you see that this device is really fit into your hand, and I like the size. It's slim and small. The iPhone 15 Pro Max is also quite but then it's a giant or huge device, and you see it has a lot given to you. Screens over here, 1 2 3. Oh, okay, I understand why this is like this, because I'm having like some kind of problem for a while now with the iPhone. Sometimes if I log into the iPhone here, this Galaxy here will also log out. And so if I really want to log into these devices, what I mostly need to do is that I need to definitely log out of one before I can be able to log into the other. It's magical that the 21, which was launched 4 years ago, it's still able to keep up in terms of the scrolling effects, in terms of the overall app optimization and what it's able to do. I mean, this is just great. Let's look at Instagram. 1 2 3. Whoa. Oh, okay. The iPhone 15 Pro Max loaded the feed and the app faster than the Galaxy S21, but the difference is just a split of second, and I think that this makes the S21, a 4-year device, to be really amazing. The only thing that I'm noticing is that the Galaxy tend to be a bit broad. I mean, it opens interfaces, and what it's able to provide here sometimes looks a bit wider and more in view than what we are going to see on the iPhone. Look at it over here. So you can see that if I bring everything in perspective over here, just look at it. Just look at it. The Galaxy is able to show more insight than the iPhone. If you look at my name over here, if you look at my name over here, just look at the story highlights over here. It's written over here, story highlight, but this one is cut off. You're only able to see this. And I wonder how this is able to work. Even if you look at the down portion over here, you see that the Galaxy has a little bit, is trying to streak into the other components than what the iPhones provide. But then I get to say that sometimes tech people make a lot of statement that the iPhone is more optimized for apps and this and that. Some of these things are just, blanket statement that people do not overall take their time to test this app up and see the overall experience. If you just open apps and this and that, it doesn't make anything. But if you look at the way these things are optimized, the way in which they are arranged over here, you can see that the Galaxy, which in spite has a smaller screen than the iPhone, which has a 6.7 inches. Come on, Amazon for shopping. Whoa, what just happened? Did the S21 just beat the iPhone in terms of the Amazon 4-year device beating a more modern device? Whoa, no way. Whoa, like true. S21 beat the iPhone 15 Pro Max in app opening. Is Apple deliberately slowing down these devices or what? No. Let's test another app to confirm my mythical kind of misconceptions and all that. Some people will say, I'm just talking trash and all that. Let's check Outlook. Microsoft. Oh, this is unbelievable. The S21 which is a 4-year device, is beating the iPhone 15 Pro Max, which is her latest device in terms of every app, almost every app opening. We check with Canva. I said it. The S21 is beating the iPhone in some kind of respect. What is happening, people? I'm not getting this. I'm definitely not getting this. This is quite unbelievable. Play Store versus the App Store. Let's check and see. 1, 2, 3. This is just blazing fast. It is just kicking the butt of the iPhone 15 Pro Max bits by bits, app by app. Whoa. Man, I mean, if daily consistently you are using this applications on your device, I mean, there's no need of you even going to buy the iPhone 15 Pro Max in the first place. The apps are going to open faster on the Galaxy S21 than the iPhone 15 Pro Max. And what is just happening? I don't get it. 1, 2, 3. Whoa! The Samsung Galaxy S21 is killing the iPhone 15 Pro Max in app opening. This is crazy. I've expected this to happen. I mean, when I tested the iPhone 15 Pro Max against the Samsung Galaxy Tab S9 Plus, I felt that had Snapdragon A Gen 2 processor or chipset in it, and this one has just the Snapdragon 8888 chips, which is a 4-year-old chipset, and it's still beating the iPhone 15 Pro Max in literally every way, every single possible way that you can just imagine. What is happening, Apple? What is happening? They're on the same Wi-Fi, they're on the same speed, and I don't know what is happening. The app management and RAM management. The iPhone 15 Pro Max has 8GB RAM, and the S21 5G also has 8GB RAM. So let's check from the iPhone first to see if all the apps are running at the background. So let's swipe home and check and see the apps that are at home. So the first app that we used was the phone dialer, and they all kept it logged inside. And the next thing was the cameras. So not really a refresh or anything like that, but I think it's just that's how it's gonna be. The next thing was the settings, and they are all keep it logged inside. Wow, 8GB RAM. The Notes app, and they are all still there. Let's check the next app, which is WhatsApp, and they all still pretty much stay at the background. Let's check the next app, which is Facebook. It seems like an app refresh on both devices. I think it's not really a refresh, but I think the S21 refreshed just a little bit, but the iPhone was stuck just in, but then there was a bit of a refresh on both to some extent. And let's check the next application, which is X, and I still don't understand why I'll call it as Twitter. So the Galaxy was a refresh. Well, quite interesting. So the next thing you go to Instagram, the Galaxy refreshed again. The import of this kind of speed test is just to prove or to test and determine if there's a huge gap in terms of this 4-year duration between these two devices. Of course, this is run on iOS and this is an Android device, so we are not going to get exactly the same metric for measuring it. But I think that relatively speaking, even if you stack these devices up against each other, realize that these devices are completely just insane for what they're able to do. The iPhone 15 Pro Max has the best of everything in terms of cameras and all that. I love it. It's a nice device. It's good. It's the best device. Other device from the Android space, which is being released in 2024, it's going to be compared to. But this S21, which I've been using for a very long time, it's my honest device that I still use in terms of app opening. The Samsung Galaxy S21 is the best. It is faster, it is quicker, it has the speed, it is also well optimized just like the iPhone 15 Pro Max. But when it comes to RAM management, that's when the iPhone has a leg up or an edge over the Samsung. And I think that these devices, this thing proves a point that the newer devices are not better, they are not way advanced and far off than the older devices. Speed test just proves the point that there's no astronomical differences between these devices as and when they are still being released into the system. So if you have an older device and it still works for you, I think you should hold on for some time or some years to come before you upgrade, because there are no new thing that they are adding to these devices, and I think that it is just great and interesting.